Hollywood might glitter on the outside, but behind the red carpets and perfect smiles lie secrets that could shake the industry to its core. Today we're diving into 23 of the most jaw-dropping cheating scandals that nearly destroyed the biggest black stars in Hollywood. From secret love affairs that lasted almost a decade, to NBA players caught red-handed by their own teammates, to famous faces denying their children on live TV, nothing is off limits. You think you know these stars? Think again. Because the truth behind these betrayals will leave you stunned, and we're starting with a Hollywood legend whose hidden romance lasted nearly 10 years. Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier and Diahann Carroll weren't just Hollywood royalty, they were two of the most admired trailblazing black stars of their time. But behind the red carpets and glowing smiles, they were living a double life. For nearly 9 years, Sidney and Diahann carried on a passionate secret affair, all while being married to other people. What started as an irresistible connection soon turned into a complicated web of promises and heartbreak. Diahann believed Sidney would leave his wife for her, and he told her he would, but the years passed, and that promise remained unfulfilled. Imagine waiting almost a decade for the love you've been told is yours, only to realize it may never truly be. When their affair finally leaked to the press, Hollywood was stunned. The media frenzy was merciless, tearing into their reputations and shaking both of their marriages. Sidney did eventually divorce his wife, but by then, his bond with Diahann had already unraveled. The scandal didn't destroy their careers, they were simply too talented for that, but it did stain their public image at a time when such affairs were taboo. Behind the glamour, it was a story of love, betrayal, and the painful cost of chasing something forbidden. Carmelo Anthony and Lala Anthony once looked like the definition of a power couple, the NBA superstar and the glamorous TV personality who seemed to have it all. But behind the luxury lifestyle and red carpet smiles, their marriage was quietly falling apart under the weight of betrayal. The breaking point came when rumors exploded that Carmelo had gotten another woman pregnant. This wasn't just idle gossip. Several outlets claimed the woman actually had a baby and that Carmelo was the father. For Lala, it was public humiliation on the biggest stage. She didn't lash out or start drama online, but her silence said everything. Soon after, she separated from him, and whispers of an impending divorce filled every tabloid headline. Carmelo never fully admitted to cheating, but the damage was done. The trust was shattered, and no amount of apologies or public appearances could fix it. They tried to patch things up for their son, showing brief moments of hope, but the wounds ran too deep. Eventually, Lala filed for divorce, marking the end of a decade-long love story. What started as one of Hollywood's favorite romances ended as one of its most painful scandals. 3. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson were Hollywood's most unexpected pairing, two comedy legends whose chemistry shocked everyone. But what started as a secret romance quickly spiraled into one of the most explosive scandals of the 90s. At the time, Ted was still married to his wife of 16 years when he began his affair with Whoopi. When the truth came out, fans were stunned and furious. Ted left his wife, but the public backlash was relentless. Still, no one could have predicted what came next. At a Friars Club roast meant to celebrate Whoopi, Ted showed up in full blackface makeup and delivered a string of racial jokes, with Whoopi sitting just a few feet away. The audience was horrified. Overnight, the beloved Cheers star became public enemy number one. The media tore him apart, and his once golden career went into freefall. Whoopi tried to defend him, admitting she had helped write some of the material, but the damage was irreversible. The controversy torched their relationship and left both their reputations scarred. What began as an unlikely Hollywood love story ended in chaos, scandal, and a brutal lesson about how quickly fame can turn into infamy. 4. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg and his wife Shante Broadus have one of Hollywood's longest-running marriages, a union that survived fame, fortune, and plenty of controversy. The couple tied the knot in 1997, and through more than 2 decades of highs and lows, they're still standing. But their journey hasn't been easy. Snoop's name has been tied to cheating rumors for years. From leaked DMs and suspicious photos to viral videos of him with other women, the gossip never seemed to stop. One woman even claimed Snoop flew her out and that they had a secret arrangement. When the story broke, fans expected a denial, but instead Snoop rushed it off with his usual laid-back charm, leaving the world guessing. Despite the endless drama, Shante has remained by his side. They once filed for divorce, but later called it off, even renewing their vows in an emotional ceremony that showed how deep their bond runs. Through every headline and scandal, Snoop still calls her his queen, often posting tributes to her on social media. The infidelity rumors might have shaken their marriage, but they never broke it. While many wonder how they've managed to make it work, one thing's clear: Shante and Snoop's love story is as complicated, messy, and enduring as Hollywood itself. 5. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' cheating scandal wasn't just a headline, it was a cultural earthquake. At the height of his fame, Tiger wasn't merely a golfer, he was the golfer, a global icon, a symbol of discipline, perfection, and greatness. But in late 2009, that flawless image shattered overnight. It all began with a mysterious car crash outside his Florida mansion. Rumors swirled that it followed a fight with his wife, Ellen Nordegren. Soon after, the truth unraveled, and it was worse than anyone imagined. One woman after another stepped forward, claiming to have had an affair with Tiger. Not 2, not 3, but more than a dozen women exposed the double life of the world's most admired athlete. Text messages leaked. Voicemails surfaced. Tabloids devoured every detail. The media frenzy was unstoppable. Tiger finally appeared on national television, eyes downcast, publicly apologizing for his infidelities and admitting he needed rehab for compulsive sexual behavior. The fallout was brutal. Sponsors dropped him overnight, his once spotless reputation was ruined, and his career plummeted. Ellen filed for divorce, walking away with a massive settlement, while Tiger disappeared from the spotlight to rebuild his life. But years later, in a stunning comeback, Tiger clawed his way back to the top, winning another major tournament and reminding the world that even after the biggest fall from grace, redemption is still possible. Sexday Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Mel B, the bold, unforgettable, scary Spice from the Spice Girls, had a whirlwind romance that burned fast and bright. For a moment, it looked like a fairy tale, 2 global stars caught up in a glamorous love story. But that illusion shattered the moment Mel B announced she was pregnant. Instead of joy, Eddie's reaction stunned the world. In live TV interviews, he coldly denied being the father, saying he wouldn't believe it until a DNA test proved it. The humiliation for Mel B was public and devastating. Headlines screamed Eddie Murphy denies baby as tabloids ran wild with the story. The man known for his charm and humor suddenly looked heartless in the court of public opinion. When the DNA results finally came in, they confirmed what Mel had known all along. Eddie was indeed the father of her daughter, Angel. But by then, the emotional damage was done. Mel B later confessed that Eddie was the love of her life, and she couldn't understand why he turned his back on her and their child. While Eddie's career survived the storm, his image took a lasting hit. The scandal became one of Hollywood's most talked-about paternity dramas, a reminder that even the funniest man in show business wasn't immune to real-life heartbreak. 7. Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams, the handsome star of Grey's Anatomy, once had the picture-perfect life, a loving wife, Aaron Drake Lee, 2 beautiful children, and a solid decade of marriage that fans admired. But in 2017, that image shattered when Jesse suddenly filed for divorce, and the whispers began. Almost overnight, rumors spread that Jesse had been unfaithful. Around the same time, he was frequently spotted with actress Minka Kelly at restaurants, events, even traveling together. The timing was impossible to ignore, and fans quickly jumped to conclusions. Social media erupted, branding Jesse as yet another celebrity who let fame ruin a good marriage. Neither Jesse nor Minka ever confirmed a relationship, but the public didn't need proof. The optics said enough. Meanwhile, Aaron broke her silence with subtle but pointed comments in interviews, suggesting that Jesse had changed after Hollywood success. The once private couple found themselves in a storm of headlines, legal battles, and emotional interviews that turned their divorce into a media circus. Jesse's career survived, his talent was undeniable, but his image took a heavy hit. The charming nice guy doctor from Grey's Anatomy suddenly became a symbol of betrayal in the eyes of many fans, and though his rumored romance with Minka faded quickly, the scandal left a lasting shadow, a reminder of how fast admiration can turn into judgment when fame meets heartbreak. 8. Will Smith. Will Smith and Margot Robbie's on-screen chemistry and focus and later Suicide Squad was undeniable, maybe too undeniable. While filming Focus, a series of behind-the-scenes photos leaked that showed the two playfully posing in a photo booth, lifting their shirts, laughing, and looking far more than just friendly. Almost instantly, the internet lost its mind. Rumors exploded that Will was cheating on Jada Pinkett Smith with Margot Robbie. Tabloids ran wild with stories of a secret romance between the Hollywood A-listers. Both Will and Margot quickly denied everything, insisting it was harmless fun taken out of context, but the speculation refused to die. The controversy only grew because of long-standing rumors about Will and Jada's open marriage. For many fans, those photo booth shots felt like confirmation of what they had always suspected. And while nothing was ever proven, the whispers followed Will for years, resurfacing any time his marriage hit the headlines. For Margot, the best response was silence. She stayed focused on her rising career, delivering hit after hit and letting the gossip fade away. Will, on the other hand, managed to keep his career intact, but the scandal left another dent in his image. It wasn't a confirmed affair, yet it became one of Hollywood's juiciest what really happened mysteries. 9. Chris Rock. Chris Rock, one of the sharpest, funniest voices in comedy, shocked the world when he admitted to cheating on his wife, Malak Compton Rock. But what really stunned everyone was who he cheated with: actress Kerry Washington. Yes, that Kerry Washington, the star of Scandal. The irony couldn't have been more brutal. The affair reportedly began while Chris and Kerry were filming the 2007 movie I Think I Love My Wife, a comedy about a married man tempted by another woman. Life imitated art a little too closely, and before long, rumors were flying. Chris later confessed that fame had made him arrogant, that he thought he could do whatever he wanted without consequences. But it caught up with him fast. Behind the scenes, his marriage was crumbling, and when word of the affair leaked, it turned into a full-blown scandal. Hollywood couldn't stop talking. Fans who once laughed at his jokes about loyalty and family were suddenly seeing a different side of him, one that wasn't so funny anymore. Kerry Washington stayed silent, never addressing the rumors publicly, but her name kept circulating in tabloids for years. As for Chris, the fallout was messy. His marriage ended in divorce, and his image as a devoted family man took a major hit. Still, being the comedian he is, Chris eventually turned his pain into punchlines, using his mistakes as stand-up material. He admitted flat out, "I was an idiot." It was raw, real, and unfiltered, a painful reminder that even the kings of comedy can fall hard when ego gets in the way of love. 10. Ludacris. Ludacris, the Grammy-winning rapper and Hollywood actor, seemed to have it all: a booming career and a picture-perfect relationship with his longtime girlfriend, Eudoxie Mbugienge. But that perfect image shattered when a shocking revelation hit the headlines. Ludacris had fathered a child with another woman while still dating Eudoxie. The news spread fast, and this time, there was no denial. Ludacris admitted the truth. The baby girl, Kai Bella, was his. The confession rocked fans and blindsided Eudoxie, who suddenly found her relationship under the harshest spotlight. Many assumed she'd walk away for good. After all, this wasn't just infidelity. There was a child involved. But in a twist that stunned everyone, Eudoxie chose forgiveness over fury. Instead of ending things, she and Ludacris worked through the pain, and not long after the scandal broke, they got married. It was a bold move that showed love doesn't always follow the public script. Ludacris later admitted the experience humbled him and made him step up as a man and a father. While the scandal put his personal life under intense scrutiny, his honesty and accountability helped him recover. Fans eventually moved on, seeing a man who learned from his mistake and fought to rebuild his family stronger than before. 11. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, the larger-than-life NBA legend known as Shaq, dominated the basketball court, but off the court, his personal life was far from a slam dunk. Married to Shante O'Neal, the couple once looked like the ultimate power duo, fame, fortune, and a beautiful family. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. Rumors of infidelity swirled for years, and eventually the truth came crashing down. Leaked messages, recordings, and tabloid stories exposed Shaq's affairs with multiple women. Shante later revealed that she had always suspected something was wrong, but when the proof hit the media, it broke her heart and their marriage. As more women came forward with their own stories, the scandal exploded. Headlines blared across every sports network and gossip site, painting Shaq as the unfaithful superstar who couldn't stay loyal. Years later, Shaq publicly took responsibility, admitting that he had been a poor husband and that the downfall of his marriage was entirely his fault. He confessed to being reckless and disrespectful, saying, "I messed up." The cheating eventually ended their marriage, and though their divorce was messy, Shaq and Shante later found a way to co-parent peacefully. His career survived, his charisma and legacy too powerful to erase, but his image as a faithful family man never fully recovered. For all his greatness, Shaq's biggest loss wasn't on the court, it was at home. 12. Antoine Fuqua. Antoine Fuqua, the acclaimed director behind Training Day, was known for his Hollywood success and seemingly stable marriage to actress Lila Rochan. But in 2019, his private life exploded into public chaos when shocking photos surfaced from Italy, showing him passionately kissing Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. The pictures didn't leave much room for interpretation. Antoine, very much still married, was seen embracing Nicole like a man in love. When the photos hit the internet, fans were stunned. Nicole quickly tried to downplay it, calling it a friendly family kiss, but no one was buying that explanation. Social media went into overdrive, dragging both Antoine and Nicole for publicly humiliating Lila, who had been quietly minding her business. The outrage was intense. Hashtags, memes, and think pieces flooded the internet. Nicole eventually appeared on TV to apologize, admitting she made a mistake and never meant to hurt anyone. Antoine, however, remained silent. No apology, no statement, just radio silence. That silence only made the backlash worse, painting him as indifferent and arrogant. Though Antoine and Layla didn't officially divorce, the scandal left deep scars. In the public eye, their marriage would never be the same, and Antoine Fuqua's image as a respected family man was forever tarnished. 13. Denzel Washington. Now this one is wild, because nothing was ever proven, yet it became one of the most talked about Hollywood rumors of the 2000s. Denzel Washington, long regarded as one of the industry's most disciplined, faithful, and respected actors, found himself at the center of a cheating scandal involving actress Sanaa Lathan. The two starred together in the 2003 thriller Out of Time, and their undeniable on-screen chemistry had fans buzzing. Soon whispers began, maybe that connection wasn't just acting. The story spread like wildfire. fueled by tabloids and gossip blogs that couldn't resist the idea of Denzel, the ultimate good guy caught in an affair. The problem? Both Denzel and Sanaa were in relationships at the time. The rumors instantly put pressure on Denzel's marriage to his longtime wife Pauletta, while Sanaa found herself painted as the other woman. Eventually, Sanaa publicly denied everything, saying people needed to stop confusing professional chemistry with real-life romance. Still, gossip doesn't die easily in Hollywood. Fans dissected interviews, photos, and movie scenes, searching for clues, yet through it all, Denzel remained silent, choosing to rise above the noise. His marriage endured, his reputation held firm, and both actors moved on. But the rumor never completely disappeared. It lingered as one of those legendary Hollywood what-ifs, unproven, unforgettable, and impossible to erase. 14. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon and Christina Milian were one of the early 2000s most adorable couples, young, successful, and totally smitten. They met on the set of their movie Love Don't Cost a Thing and quickly fell for each other. Christina even moved in with Nick, and for a while it looked like a fairy tale Hollywood romance. But behind the smiles and red carpet photos, trouble was brewing. Christina's instincts told her something wasn't right, and she was right. One night, while Nick was asleep, she decided to check his phone. What she found shattered everything. Dozens of text messages to other women, flirty, explicit, undeniable proof of betrayal. When she confronted him, Nick couldn't talk his way out of it. The relationship ended instantly, and Christina was left heartbroken. The story spread like wildfire, with fans in disbelief that the charming, funny Nick Cannon could cheat on one of R&B's sweetest stars. Years later, Nick openly admitted that he had messed up. He confessed he was young and dumb, admitting Christina caught him fair and square because she already knew his phone password. Instead of denying it, he owned it, but the damage to his image was done. The scandal turned Nick into Hollywood's newest player, a label that followed him for years, and even though both stars moved on, that heartbreak remains one of the most unforgettable cheating stories of early 2000s pop culture. 15. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant will forever be remembered as one of the greatest basketball players in history, but in 2003, his flawless public image came crashing down. That year, he was accused of sexually assaulting a hotel worker in Colorado, a scandal that instantly dominated global headlines. In the midst of the chaos, Kobe admitted to being unfaithful to his wife, Vanessa Bryant, though he insisted the encounter had been consensual. Still, the damage was devastating. The man known for his discipline and drive was suddenly facing a media storm unlike anything the sports world had ever seen. Kobe held an emotional press conference with Vanessa by his side, publicly apologizing to her and to his fans. The pain on her face said it all, but she stood by him, a decision that both shocked and inspired the public. The criminal charges were later dropped, but the fallout was immense. Kobe lost major endorsement deals, including McDonald's, and his reputation took a massive hit. Determined to make amends, Kobe worked tirelessly to rebuild his legacy. He poured his energy into basketball, philanthropy, and his family, slowly winning back the public's respect. He even gifted Vanessa a $4 million apology ring, a symbol of his remorse and her forgiveness. In time, their marriage endured, and Kobe proved that redemption, like greatness, is earned through perseverance. 16. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's cheating scandal remains one of Hollywood's most infamous personal downfalls and comebacks. In 2017, the comedian who built a career on laughter found himself at the center of a very public humiliation. While his wife, Iniko Parrish, was pregnant with their first child, a video surfaced showing Kevin in a compromising situation with another woman. The scandal took a darker turn when someone tried to extort Kevin with the footage. Instead of giving in, he went public, posting a heartfelt apology on Instagram, where he admitted his bad error in judgment and refused to be blackmailed. What shocked fans even more was the betrayal behind the scenes. The person behind the extortion attempt turned out to be one of Kevin's close friends. Eniko was devastated, but instead of walking away, she chose to fight for their marriage. The couple went through counseling, and Kevin took full responsibility, speaking openly about the affair in his Netflix docuseries Don't Heck This Up. Though the incident temporarily tarnished his image, Kevin's honesty and accountability helped him recover. He used the experience as stand-up material, turning pain into punchlines. Still, the fact that it happened while his wife was pregnant made it one of the most shocking and unforgettable celebrity scandals of the decade. 17.J-Z. This one isn't just a scandal, it's a cultural moment. Jay-Z cheated on Beyoncé. Yes, the queen herself. And instead of doing interviews or messy public statements, Beyoncé turned her pain into art. She dropped Lemonade. An album that wasn't just music, it was a masterpiece of rage, heartbreak, and forgiveness. The lyrics told the story of betrayal and redemption, and one line, "Becky with the good hair," broke the internet. Fans launched full-blown investigations trying to figure out who Becky was, while the world struggled to believe that even Beyoncé had been cheated on. Eventually, Jay-Z admitted the truth. He confessed in interviews that he had been unfaithful and that it nearly cost him his marriage. The couple went to therapy, fought through the pain, and later released Everything Is Love, a joint album symbolizing reconciliation. What could have destroyed them instead became one of pop culture's greatest lessons in vulnerability, accountability, and healing, proving that even royalty can rise again from heartbreak. 18. Eric Benét. Eric Benét and Halle Berry were once the definition of a Hollywood dream couple. She was at the height of her fame, fresh off her historic Oscar win, and he was a smooth, soulful R&B singer adored by fans. Together, they looked untouchable. But behind the glamour, their marriage was falling apart under the weight of betrayal. Eric's infidelity wasn't just a one-time mistake, it was a pattern. When the truth came out, he confessed to having what he called compulsive sexual behavior. It wasn't long before the story exploded into one of the decade's biggest celebrity scandals. Eric even checked himself into rehab in an effort to save both his marriage and his image, but the damage was already done. The trust between him and Halle was gone. Their divorce became public and painful, shocking fans who couldn't believe that even Halle Berry, one of the most admired women in Hollywood, had been cheated on. Eric's reputation took a nosedive. He went from being Halle's devoted husband to the man who couldn't control his impulses. Years later, Eric admitted that calling it an addiction was an excuse. He had simply made terrible decisions. The scandal followed him for years, casting a long shadow over his career. As for Halle, she emerged stronger, vowing never again to tolerate disrespect or betrayal in love, a promise born from heartbreak and hard-earned wisdom. Nick Young, better known as Swaggy P, and rapper Iggy Azalea were once one of Hollywood's flashiest couples. They had the fame, the chemistry, and the spotlight until one viral video destroyed it all. At the height of their engagement, Nick's own teammate, D'Angelo Russell, secretly recorded him bragging about hooking up with other women behind Iggy's back. When that video leaked online, it spread like wildfire. Fans were stunned, Iggy was blindsided, and Nick's reputation went up in flames overnight. Iggy wasted no time ending the engagement. She took to Twitter, saying she had no idea what was going on until the world saw it. The humiliation was public and brutal. The video became a meme, and late-night hosts couldn't stop joking about it. Suddenly, Nick's basketball career wasn't the story anymore. His cheating scandal was. For Iggy, it was a heartbreak played out for millions to watch. She later spoke openly about the betrayal, admitting how painful it was to have her private life turned into entertainment. As for Nick, he never fully shook off the stigma. The once fun-loving, charismatic NBA star became infamous as the guy who got exposed by his own teammate, a cautionary tale about fame, trust, and one very bad video. Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson might be an NBA player, but these days, his name is less associated with basketball and more with scandal. His on and off relationship with Khloe Kardashian has been one of Hollywood's most chaotic love stories, a cycle of betrayal, heartbreak, and second chances that always seem to end the same way. The first bombshell dropped in 2018, just days before Khloe gave birth to their daughter, True. A video leaked showing Tristan kissing other women in a nightclub. The timing was brutal. Khloe was in labor while the internet dissected her humiliation in real time. Somehow, she found the strength to forgive him, and for a while it looked like they might make it work. But the peace didn't last. In 2019, another scandal exploded. Tristan was caught kissing Jordyn Woods, Kylie Jenner's best friend. The betrayal didn't just break Khloe's heart, it tore through the Kardashian circle, igniting one of the biggest celebrity feuds of the decade. Even after that, Khloe gave Tristan another chance, but he kept slipping. More cheating allegations surfaced, including a shocking paternity scandal where he fathered a child with another woman while supposedly reconciling with Khloe. At this point, Tristan's reputation is beyond repair. For most people, his name no longer means NBA champion, it means serial cheater, the man who fumbled one of the most public relationships in pop culture history. 21. Robin Givens. Robin Givens and Mike Tyson's late 80s marriage was one of Hollywood's most explosive, a whirlwind of fame, fury, and public chaos that burned out in less than a year. From the outside, they looked like a power couple, the heavyweight boxing champion and the rising Hollywood starlet, but behind closed doors, their relationship was a storm. Both accused each other of cheating, and the drama quickly became tabloid gold. Robin claimed Mike was unfaithful and abusive, saying he constantly stepped out with other women. Mike fired back with his own bombshell, accusing Robin of cheating with none other than Brad Pitt. He even claimed he once caught them together, a story that turned headlines into wildfire. The chaos reached its peak during an infamous 2020 interview where Robin openly described their toxic marriage, with Mike sitting beside her, silent and visibly uncomfortable. Viewers couldn't look away. It was raw, awkward, and unforgettable. By the time they divorced, their marriage had become a full-blown media circus. The accusations, scandals, and public outbursts turned what could have been a Hollywood love story into one of the most notorious train wrecks of the era, a cautionary tale of fame, ego, and too much exposure. Derrick Rose, once the youngest MVP in NBA history and a fan favorite for his humble rise and explosive talent, has lived a life filled with both triumph and turbulence. While his injuries often dominated sports headlines, it was his off-court drama that kept him in the tabloids. For years, Derrick's love life has been shadowed by rumors of infidelity. His longtime girlfriend, Mika Reese, the mother of his son, stood by him through much of his early fame. But whispers of cheating began to swirl, with stories suggesting that Derrick hadn't always been loyal. Though neither of them publicly confirmed the rumors, Mika later announced their split, and fans quickly connected the dots. The controversy didn't end there. Derrick later faced a highly publicized civil sexual assault lawsuit, a case that, despite his eventual victory in court, further tainted his reputation. Once admired as the NBA's golden boy, Derrick found his personal image overshadowed by speculation and scandal. Though his talent on the court remained undeniable, his romantic missteps often painted a more complicated picture of a man still trying to balance fame, love, and the weight of public scrutiny. If you've ever tuned in to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you already know. Stevie J and Joseline Hernandez were reality TV's most explosive duo. Their relationship had everything passion, chaos, betrayal, and more drama than a soap opera. From the very beginning, their story was tangled in scandal. Stevie J, A music producer known for his work with some of hip-hop's biggest names was still with longtime girlfriend Mimi Faust when he started seeing Joseline. The love triangle instantly became the show's centerpiece, messy, emotional, and impossible to look away from. Eventually, Stevie left Mimi for Joseline, but that didn't stop the cheating. Joseline constantly accused him of sleeping around, while Stevie fired back with his own claims that she was far from faithful. Their explosive fights, full of shouting, tears, and shocking confessions, became legendary moments in reality TV history. One minute they were breaking up, the next they were passionately making up, declaring their undying love. They even claimed to be married at one point, only for it to later come out that the marriage wasn't legally real. By the end, the endless lies and infidelity took their toll. The couple finally split, but not quietly. Even after the breakup, Stevie and Joseline couldn't resist the spotlight, throwing shade at each other in interviews and social media posts. Their love story may have been toxic, but it was pure reality TV gold, chaotic, unforgettable, and impossible to ignore. Thanks for watching. Now tell us, which celebrity would you put on the lie detector first? Drop their name below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got even more shocking Hollywood secrets and untold scandals coming your way. Stay tuned. The next video will expose stories even wilder than this one.